Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you guys are. So, guys, I don't know whether I've switched off or the fact that there's not much news in boxing, but everything just seems to be quite dead. Maybe because I've like switched off a little bit and the news has gone a bit dead. I don't know what it is, but yeah, this fight between Andrade and Benavidez is obviously not caught that much fire out. Look, a lot of fights in boxing don't catch the fire that they deserve, and I think this is a good fight. But it's not really caught the fire. But then, having said that, I even thought Spence and Crawford never caught the fire. That just could be the fact that there's a lot of sideshows now in boxing, which unfortunately means that these guys, because there's a lot of guys with very high popularity that have come into the sport, the mainstream fights aren't getting the same kind of credit. Like we just had Ngannou and Tyson Fury, and that got a lot of hype. But apparently the numbers weren't that great. And I tell you why I think the numbers weren't that great. Because I think people are bored and sick of it. That fight ended up being very good and very competitive, which I think nobody expected. And I think people thought that this fight is going to be crap, like the others have in the past. A certain, those fights that have happened, crossover fights, have been crap, really. It's been rubbish. But actually, this one actually kind of lived up to it. It was actually pretty decent, probably because Fury was so poor and Ngannou kind of probably should have won. So yeah, it made it that was a bit of a joke and a very surprising freak type of event. But Andrade Benavidez, this is a very good fight. Now, Benavidez is saying that he's going to stop Demetrius Andrade. Andrade is saying that Benavidez is going to have a horrible night. This is a very, very interesting and very good fight, and one that I can't wait for, actually, because I actually think it's going to be a good. I think it's going to be a good fight. I do. I think it's going to be one of those fights where, if Andrade can step up and fight to the level that I think he can, even though at this backstage of his career, I think he could cause Benavidez some fits. I do think that later on in the fight is going to be interesting, because one thing I notice about Andrade, he fades later on in fights. And if he fades against David Benavidez, it could be curtains for him. So I think that's going to be very interesting for me to see, is that can Demetrius Andrade not fade in this fight? If Demetrius Andrade can stay, fit for the full 12 rounds, where he has the tank, he has the engine to go all the distance, and this could be very interesting. I just worry that maybe, he doesn't have the, whether he has the tank to go all the way. If he does, if he has the tank to go all the way, this might be very, very interesting, because like I said, and I've said this previously, that I think Andrade's a good fighter. He's very skillful. He's got ability. There's no doubt about it. Andrade can fight. It's just the fact that I think Andrade might be at the end of his career, and I think that might be what loses him this fight. That he might be at the end of his career, and he might not have the legs. He might not have the stamina. And at this stage, he might not even have the durability. Benavidez is a lot bigger than him, a lot stronger than him. And Andrade is fighting at a weight class where he's not really fought anybody at 168, and he's fighting somebody who's a fully fledged 168, who's very, very big at the weight. So, you'd have to say that it's heavily in favor of Andrade. I mean, you'd have to say that there's a big massive. I think Benavidez is a strong favorite in this fight. I think Andrade is a good fighter. There's no doubt about it. But I think it's quite clear to say that Andrade is not the favorite here, and David Benavidez is young. He's in his prime. He's got the world at his feet. He's feeling good about himself, and I think he feels that, if he puts it on Andrade, there's a good chance he stops him, and I think he feels that he will stop him. I think David Benavidez might have not taken this fight if it was a younger Andrade, especially with the Canelo fight looming, but I think he knows. And I think most importantly, I think Benavidez wants to prove himself. He wants to prove that he's better. And I think Andrade now at this point kind of knows that he's got nowhere to go. It makes sense for him as well, because if he was to be if he was to beat David Benavidez, that would propel his career as well, because people will say, hang on a minute, you know, but Andrade has still got it, because I think most people would be favoring Benavidez in this fight. So Andrade knows if he was managed to pull off the upset, this would propel his career as well. So this is a very, very interesting fight. Very interesting fight. I'd love to know what you guys think. This is a very, very interesting fight. I don't think it's... Look, I favor Benavidez, but I wouldn't be surprised if Andrade does manage to pull it off as well. You know, it's not out of his... It's not out of his realm. You know, he has got the ability. He's a good fighter. It may have just come a bit 1 or 2 years too late, but I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested to see whether he can do this. Andre's been talking a big game for a while, for a long time in his career. This is an opportunity for him to really solidify himself, and then not just that, beat Benavidez and then get a shot against Canelo. Because then if he was to beat Benavidez, the calls to fight Canelo would be massive after that. I think Canelo might have to fight him, and Canelo might want to fight him as well if he beats Benavidez. So let's see, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see how this one plays out, guys. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.